Okay, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. This is going to be demo day number one for the 2018 Google Summer of Code program. We'll be having showcases of the work that was completed over the past several months from interns from both the Mifos initiative as well as those who are contributing to Apache Fineract through the Apache Software Foundation. So I just have a few initial announcements and some housekeeping matters, and then we'll jump right into the showcases. And we had a few small changes in the schedule today, but we still have a full slate of demos you'll be able to see. So this is just a little rundown on the agenda. And normally we would go through introductions, but we've got a busy agenda today, so we'll skip introductions. So just in terms of the schedule for the upcoming showcases, as you saw from the initial email, we're going to have another showcase next week to demo some of the other work on same time, August 23rd at 1300 GMT. And a couple of our students have had some conflicts today and potentially with next week. And given we have so many scheduled for next week, we might split it out into a third showcase, which would probably happen on August 30th. But we'll send out a final confirmation of those times. And then lastly, just wanted to mention, and I know that Merle, I think, is on the call right now, but the ApacheCon North of America event is coming up in late September. And there's actually going to be, a Fineract, fintech track of sorts, as there's going to be a number of talks being led by committers from the project, including Merle giving a keynote. So we wanted to, emphasize, especially for those members of the community that are, in the North American region, to try and come to this event, as it can sort of be, our tech days of sorts, to get a group of contributors and committers and those actively interested in the Fineract and Fineract CN projects to come together in one common place. And so, Merle, if you wanted to say any more about the fintech track at ApacheCon, you can come off mute if you'd like. So.
I think you've already said it all, Ed. I'm really excited to see some of you guys there. Yeah, Rich has made a special effort to put all of our talks in a sequence. So we really are having a fintech track this year. And if there's interest, then we can talk to them again about having a Fineract track, or a Fineract or fintech track, either way, for 2019. So I hope that you guys will all come.
Okay, well, great. Thanks for your efforts, Merle, and helping to get that organized and working with the event planning committee at Apache. And we'll try and use, the coming month and a half to spread the word and use our blog and other social media to promote both the talks and the fintech track. So thank you. Okay, and then I know we've sort of been out of cycle and having these regular developer and user meetings, but we're going to get back in the sync of that. And so just a few sort of announcements around, stuff we typically say during these meetings. So we do want to continue to highlight members of the community in our community spotlight blog post. So we highlight partners there. In our partner spotlight, we highlight case studies of solutions that are powered by Mifos and are powered by Mifos blogs. And then we also recognize our star contributors. And then we also highlight users in our user and focus case studies. So if you are interested in being showcased in our blog, reach out to me, and we'll work on getting a write-up for you to shine light on your great efforts. And then there's going to be more details about this coming up soon, but as part of our ongoing efforts to help, scale and make the initiative sustainable on the giving front, we are launching a recurring giving, our membership program, entitled Open Source FinTech Force. So we'll send out the link to where you could make a donation, but we're looking for, followers, volunteers, and members of the community who'd like to make a small financial contribution each month to be a part of this member program. You'd get a t-shirt, you'd get special recognition and other benefits, but we're looking to grow this group of supporters that are looking to join our movement to end poverty one line of code at a time. So stay tuned for more information on that, but sort of just wanted to briefly give an announcement about that. And then I know, we've been a little stagnant on having releases coming out, but we do have the next release of Apache Fineract that will be, prepared and ready to ship fairly soon. We brought on Shruti, who's been helping review a number of the pull requests, and then we're going to get those merged by committers from the community. And then likewise, once the latest stable release of Apache Fineract is out, we'll release the next version of Mifos X, and we still haven't released our mobile apps in a long time. So those are many enhancements overdue coming. And then the community is continuing to mobilize around Apache Fineract again. We're also trying to bring on some grant funding to help us accelerate some development there. So our next milestone is to get to an official 1.0 release, but we welcome everybody to, grab the source code that's on the Apache Fineract CN GitHub repositories, and then also, join the discussion that's happening on mailing lists and browse the wiki for the information there. But our goal, over the coming months is to really start to catalyze momentum on top of the new code base while we continue to innovate on top of Fineract 1.x as well. And then just wanted to once again plug, even though I don't think many of you know it, but I think this is, a good place for many of our graduating interns. So we do still have like a small jobs board where we have partners and customers in the community post opportunities, whether they be, jobs, service contracts, implementations that are coming up. So members of the community who have those skill sets can respond in wanting to participate. And I'm going to share more details, but we want to, make sure all of our interns know that apart from continuing to be volunteers, contributors, committers, and maintainers at the level of both the Mifos and Apache Fineract communities, there are also a lot of freelance opportunities for you to join small contractual projects, make a little money on the side, given you've developed a strong skill set on top of the Fineract and Mifos stacks. So I'll share more details of that later as well. And then now, I want to move into our showcase portion of today's meeting. So this is just a brief shot of all the interns that we've been working with this summer. And I do apologize that our formal intro posts were so late in coming through, but we've got another post talking more about the students coming up. And then we're also going to be doing the official wrap-up blog post that we typically do that will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. And so this is just a brief rundown of all the projects that our interns were working on over the course of this summer. And so we're only going to go through a small portion of them today. But on the web app front, both Abe and Anwesh ended up both primarily focusing on rewriting of the Mifos X web app into the latest version, Angular 6. So they're both going to be showcasing those efforts today. And that's a major project that's still ongoing. So if we have any Angular contributors out there in the community, we need people to continue, completing the rewrite so we can have our web app on the latest and greatest version of Angular. And then Ankit was working on version 2 of our client-facing online banking web app, and he'll be showcasing that next week. And then on the mobile front, we had multiple interns working on mobile apps for both staff and clients on top of Fineract as well as Fineract CN. So today, Ankur, and I misspelled his name on the slide there, there's an extra I that got dropped in, but he's going to demonstrate the efforts he did on extending our mobile wallet framework that is built on top of Fineract 1.x. And then Saksham today is also going to be demonstrating the third version of our mobile banking app, so Mifos Mobile 3.0. And then next week, both Dilpreet and Mohak will be sharing the work they had done on Fineract CN Mobile 2.0. And then Manish worked on one of the first client-facing mobile banking apps for Fineract CN. So he's going to demonstrate what he had done. And then lastly, Aksh will showcase the work he did on the fifth version of our Android Field Officer app for the current version of Fineract. And then we also had several students working on the Fineract 1.x backend or Mifos X modules powered by Fineract 1.x. And so Kumaranas was originally going to be working on or doing his demo today, but we're going to push it to next week because he's trying to get his visa so he can come to ApacheCon North America. So that's his current focus. And then Lalit today is going to be showcasing the work that he did around machine learning and scorecards, which was the focus of that approach. And then next week, Ding Fan will be demonstrating the chatbot that he worked on. And next week as well, Sanyam is going to be showcasing his efforts around the payment gateway to provide more seamless mobile money integration. And then lastly, we were able to have several students work on Fineract CN this year. So next week, Courage is going to showcase the work she did around containerization and deployment using Docker. Ebenezer is going to showcase the new SMS and email microservice that he built. And then Rufine and Pembe are going to share the work that they did around management of groups and group lending, both on the back and front end for Fineract CN. And then lastly, today, Cabral, who we brought on as an intern, separate to GSOC, but moving along at the same pace as them. He's going to showcase the efforts he did on like a bulk data import tool for Fineract CN. So now that we've gone through those brief housekeeping and introduction aspects, I'm going to pass the controls over to Saksham, who's going to give our first showcase. But for today, given Kumarana's change and one other change we had, we're going to have demos on Mifos Mobile 3.0, the Mobile Wallet 2.0, the scorecards approach that Lalit worked on, the data import tool that Cabral had been working on, and then we're going to close up with the rewrite of the web app. So let me make sure I can pass over the controls to Saksham, and then we'll be looking at his demo. And we'll try and just hold for questions till the end of the session. So please, if you do have questions, type them into the chat, and then we'll make sure we can get to them post that. So Saksham, hopefully you got the request to be presenter. You might need to download, but we'll just wait till your screen becomes visible.
Hello, Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah, is my screen visible?
Not yet. It's still just the intro text there. So if you might have to click the little Citrix flower on the right hand side of the screen, and possibly to download, sort of the local desktop client rather than just using the web app. So that might be what you need to do.
Like, is the screen visible now? I've added my phone display right now. Hello?
No, not quite yet. Let me remake you the presenter. Yeah, it should be prompting. It might be prompting you to download. So if you haven't downloaded yet, that might be the.
Yeah, it prompted me to download the extension. I downloaded it.
Okay, yeah, let me switch myself to presenter, and then I'll switch it back to you again.
Hi, Ed and everyone. Can you hear me?
Oh, hi, Robert.
Is it visible now?
Nah,
Hello?
not quite yet. Yeah, not quite yet. So let me see if Ankur can present now, and then maybe try logging in and out again,
Oh, okay.
and that sometimes helps Saksham. So.
Yes.
Ankur, I sent you the present request to see if your screen will become visible more smoothly. So. And you two might face the same issue, Ankur, because it's still saying that you're only on the web version. So apologies, everybody, for those brief delays. Yeah, so just while we're getting the screens set up for the showcases, like I know if you've been following on the thread, like we've been trying across the community to get a public web server up for the, or demo server up for the Fineract CN, and we're getting very close to that now. So thank you to Apache board for approving an additional virtual machine, and we've got that provision now. And then thank you to Alex from the community who's been leading efforts to get that set up and configured. And I believe it should be, up and running soon, as I know that's been a barrier to many who want to, simply just take a look at what functionality is currently in Fineract CN, but also, it's been a barrier for our students who have been needing to test their changes against a live demo server. So that is on its way very soon, and we'll be able to leverage that in the near future. Oh, can you hear us from I know you're connected the second time now. Ankur, can you hear us?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you
Okay.
now. I'm trying to
Okay,
make you
so
presenter from the second account. So
okay, so actually, web version of the website is not working for me, so I've just signed up, joined the meeting on the app. So is it okay if I present on the app? Because uh, I only have to present the app here, or let me see if the web version works.
okay.
Ed, can you uh, send me request to present the screen again?
Yeah. For some reason, it's not. Yeah, it's not allowing me to do it from the account we can hear you from. So let me resend it to the other account.
Yes.
Hi, Ed, this is Lalit here. Am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you, Lalit.
There is no desktop plugin for Ubuntu, and I think people using Ubuntu or any of the Linux on the browser are having a problem.
Yes, exactly. I guess I'm also using Ubuntu. So, can you see my screen now?
Oh, not yet. Not yet, Ankur. Yeah, let me identify the workaround we had last time for Ubuntu issues. So I thought it's been a while since we've faced that issue, and I thought Citrix might have fixed it by now, but I guess they hadn't. So.
You could try sending me the request again. I have logged out of web version.
I don't think it permits me to send it if you're just on, that version. So let me, I'm actually going to pass it over to, maybe we'll kick off with the web app demo first. So Abhay and Anwesh, I might have you all start off with your demonstration, and then we'll get the issues that Ankur and Saksham are facing resolved, and then move on to them. So Abhay, I'm not sure if you or Anwesh wanted to present first, but I'll make one of you presenter right now. So. Okay, so hopefully this third time will work as a charm. But yeah, as we're getting that set up, just to continue the conversation and around Fineract CN. So, we are, as we also prep to get towards that first official Apache compliant release, we do need folks to try and pick up some of the tickets that we have that are part of, what will be going into that. So there's still, a number of dependencies that Yannick has nicely articulated that need to be removed for us to get to that first release. And so Isaac, compiled the list of tickets and other work that we want to achieve before we get to a 1.0. So if you haven't, looked at that page he created on the wiki, I recommend that you do and share your feedback on the mailing list, or also, just jump in and raise your hand to pick up work on some of that. But that's something that we need the collective efforts of the community for us to continue moving forward. So.
Yeah, Ed, is my screen visible?
No, you're not. Your screen's not visible yet either, Abe. So I think you two might need to have the actual web client downloaded. So
Yeah, actually, I downloaded the extension, but I think the extension is not working.
Okay.
I'll also have to download.
Okay. No, but let me then try Saksham once more, and we'll get one of these working. We normally don't have as many technical difficulties like this. So.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, Saksham,
Hello.
your screen's visible now, so we'll proceed with you, and then we'll get back to the other showcases. So apologies everyone for those brief delays. I think we'll get it worked out. But Saksham's going to be showcasing his efforts on Mifos Mobile 3.0.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear
Hello.
you and see your screen.
So basically, like I added a splash screen for the application. Dashboard was added so that a user can visualize like the number of accounts he's having and what is the status of each account. Apart from that, reports, like I've created, like I've mocked the data because the APIs were not available. Like it is just like a dummy UI. Like I was not knowing what field should I add, so I've like just created, like here the list will be there for the reports which the user can view, and on clicking any of these items, the white screen there, like I don't know the format like which the user can view, like it's PDF, Excel, so I've just like kept it blank. So like when the APIs are ready, I can, like the user can view it on the right portion, and the user can download it by clicking on top of the menu. Up, hello. Apart from that, I have changed the UI for the user's detail. Currently the button here, like it's not working because I was not knowing the fields like which were editable. Only the thing like the API which was available was that to change the password. From here the user can change his password, and from settings also he can change his password. I have added a functionality to change the password also. Currently the library doesn't support the functionality to change the password, but in future user can click here and change the passcode, and the password user can change it from here. Like the password feature is like completely linked with the API, as the API was available for it. Apart from that, like I've added a survey using a fake response layer. Like the user can fill the survey. One thing like in survey we can do is that, like if the user, like if the organization want the user to fill like a list, like from many surveys, user can like should be provided a list of the survey and like which survey he want to fill, he can complete that survey. Currently only one survey I have added because I was not knowing the use case properly since the APIs were not available. And the user can add guarantor. Like here I've added option to add the guarantor. Like the user can update the guarantor, or the user can delete the guarantor. Like this feature is also like not integrated with the API since the APIs were not available. Apart from that, the user can view a share account. Like this feature, like here I've used the payload which was used to show in the list. That's it. And one more feature I have added, like it is not, the UI is not good because I was not knowing the fields which should be displayed. Like here, like the UI will look more better when I will load the like move, I will add more fields, and user can add like one more saving account from here. User can even update and withdraw the saving account from here. Apart from that, like I've done some like non-UI functionalities like Kotlin integration and FCM migration, and like I'm hoping to like work on payment gateway and chat integration, like since API was also not available for that. Like that's it, Ed.
Okay, thanks. Did you want to spend briefly talk a little bit more about the Kotlin and FCM integration, more of like the network you did there? Because I know that took a lot of time and effort. So.
Okay. Yeah, I did basically just converted all the like pojos to the data class in Kotlin, like which has led to like in the huge decrement of the number of lines of code which we are having in like in our project. Like 14,000 lines were deleted, and like instead of that the same work could be done in like 4,000 lines, which means like a huge number of lines were deleted. A lot of boilerplate code was deleted. Apart from that, like I've done FCM migration. Like I've mentioned here, like I need to update the Google services.json file, like which we can like some guy from the backend can do, like when he will like make the changes. Like we need to make actually two changes, one in the server side and one in the console, Firebase console. When the changes in the Firebase console are done, then it will generate a new Google services.json file which I just need to replace in my project which I'm currently using. And like some changes need to be made in the server side also, like which like there is a mailing list for that. That's it. But just we just need to change this JSON file in the project, and two changes need to be made on the console and on the server side. Then this feature like will be working.
Okay, thank
Hello.
you. Yeah, thank you, Saksham, for all your efforts this summer. And so for those, who don't know, since you haven't really seen the Mifos Mobile 2.0, unless you downloaded and built from source, because we're waiting to get some of the admin side features in the Mifos X before we officially ship the release to Google Play. But we'll be getting a release out on Google Play. So there already was, a good subset of functionality in the app itself. But Saksham, worked on all those new functionalities he just shared with you, as well as major backend changes he made. So stay tuned. We'll send out the link to the students' final projects very soon, and you'll be able to see, details of all the pull requests made and screenshots and GIFs of all the work that was completed. very soon. So thank you again, Saksham, and thank you to Rajan, who is mentoring him. Okay, so we've got like a
Yeah.
workaround that we're going to do to let Ankur demo. So just bear with us one moment, and I think we'll have that in place. So Ankur, if you want to come off mute.
Hello,
Okay,
I
and
hope
then
you guys can hear me now.
yeah, and then
Can
if
you
you
hear
want
me
to,
now?
yeah, we can hear you, Ankur. And then if you want to share your screen through the Hangout that we have open, and then I will share my screen with
Okay, okay.
everyone else.
Yes,
So
yes. I think that will work. Just a minute. Can you?
okay, yeah, yeah, your screen's visible through the Hangout. I think this should work. So you can just talk through, and your screen,
Okay,
yeah, what everybody sees now.
okay,
So.
okay. So let's get started. Hello, everyone. So, first thing first. So, yeah. So this is the final link which I submitted for the final evaluation. So, in this link, I have mentioned the work I have done. Here is the spreadsheet for the same, and status of every use case and task is mentioned here. What's done and what's not been done, and why it's not have been done. So after that, these are the merged pull requests, and the updated documentation of the repository can be found here. I have updated the use cases and all the necessary things which needs to be updated. So let's get to the app now. So so here is the login screen. So here you have two options. If you are registered with Mifos, you can log in, or if you don't have any account, you can create here. So I'll showcase this also. Let's just first see the login features, and then we log in into the app. After that, you set the passcode so that you don't have to log in again and again to access the use cases. I'll just set the passcode. Uh, so this is the home screen, and here we have various options and use cases. So some of the use cases has been implemented by Naman in the version 1. Transaction history has been implemented by Naman, but I have just tweaked the UI and made it in more detail. Let's say these are the transactions, and you wanna see the detail of this particular transaction, and then you just have to tap on it, and after that it shows who sent the money to whom, and I am logged in with the Naman Dwivedi's account, and other account I transferred money to is Naman Dwivedi too. So here I can also see the receipt of this transaction by clicking on that, and then it asks for actually the receipt is in the PDF format, so it asks for the user to access the files and media storage on the device, because it will save the PDF and on the local storage so the user can access it. So I'll allow it. So the receipt downloaded successfully. Okay. So here's the receipt. One can see the. Also, I have implemented a intent filter for the receipt. It is of the form https receipt.meetfirstpay.com, and then comes the receipt ID. If the user is accessible to the receipt ID, then user can directly see the receipt by clicking on the receipt unique receipt link. So I'll go back, and after that, yeah. So let's say you wanna see transaction related to Naman Dwivedi. So you just have to click on the icon, and it will show all the transaction done with numbering query 2. It says these are all the transactions which has been done, and clicking on it will again show the receipt of the transaction. So that's all about the transaction history. Then we come to KYC feature. So for the KYC feature, there are 3 levels. On the first level, user just have to register the mobile number and first name and the date of birth. So let's say register here. Then you select the date of birth and submit. Once it has been submitted, you can check the status of your KYC level 1. It will show level 1 as green here. So you can see that it's now green color, and you don't have the access to it. You can upgrade your level to the level 2 or level 3 by just clicking on it and submitting the document also. You can browse and select the document you want to upload and ID type. What kind of document is it? Is it an Aadhaar card or something like that? So that's about the KYC feature. After that, come to saved card. So these are the saved credit cards, which these are the 2 saved credit cards which already are in the database. We can add a new card by clicking add card, and it asks for the first name. Here you put the card number. I think I have removed the validation for the card number for now for the testing purposes. So I think it will just be fine. So I just add it, and now it's been added here. I can also edit this card, delete this card, or just okay. So let's say we want to delete this card, and this card will be deleted. So that's about the saved credit cards. After that, we come to the invoices. So there is a separate data table for this one, and all the invoices of the user, whatever the status is it done or pending, are saved there. So we also have intent filter for invoice like this. It is of the form invoice.mifos.com, and then comes the transaction ID, and then comes the transfer ID. So there is then comes the client ID, and then the um, transaction ID or transfer ID. So that's about the invoice. It shows the merchant name, consumer, and amount of, and then items and status done or pending, and transaction ID. And these are the payment option. If let's say the invoice, the amount has not been paid yet, these will be fetched from UPI. So as you know that UPI SDK is currently unavailable, so I have not implemented that. Okay. So here are the notifications. So about the notification, there are 2 things which I have to mention. So first of all, I have done the app on the code, not on the server. So for it to be fully functionable, someone has to code on the server side and migrate the GCM to FCM. But I've created a data table notification so that user can keep track of that, and we can also send the note. For now, if somebody wants to test the notification feature, one can use a Firebase. One can use a Firebase notification composer to send the notification. That's all. So this is also done. User just have to, sorry, developer just has to code on the server side for it to be fully functionable. After that, this is the list of merchants where you can see the list of all the merchants associated with Mifos Pay, and search them here. So So here are all the so this is about the trusted merchants. And after that, yeah, so here is the UPI related use case. This is linked. This shows the linked bank account. This bank account. When you tap on that, it shows the currently linked bank account. It shows the bank name, and this is dummy data since UPI SDK is not available right now. So let's say this bank is already in here, and we tap on that. It has these options, and some other options can be added like transfer money and uh, check balance and all kinds of use cases. But since SDK is not available, I have not added those. So let's say you want to set up the UPI. So you set up the UPI by tapping on the setup UPI button, and then you enter the debit card details and whatever your details are. You go to next. And again, I have not added the validations because this is for testing purpose, and then I'll confirm my option. So it will show a tick here. It will call some backend function to verify the debit card details, and then if the debit card details are verified, it will show a tick here that your verification is done. Once the verification of the debit card is done, the server sends an OTP to the user's mobile number, and user has to enter the OTP here. So once this is also done, user enters the OTP and checks it in. Once the OTP is verified, user is directed towards entering a new UPI pin. So let's say I enter UPI pin, and it will ask for entering the UPI pin again just to confirm. Then I enter it again, and the UPI setup completed successfully. So now you don't see a UPI pin here. You can change your UPI pin. For that, you don't need to provide debit card details again. You just need to provide the OTP and UPI pin setup. But in case you have forgot your UPI, you can reset it using debit card again. The setup is same. You can also delete the current bank you have linked. After that, let's say you wanna link your new bank account. So you click here on the link bank account, and you select from various bank account lists. Let's say you have some you have a bank account here, and you tap on that. After that, uh, there are some instructions that your mobile number which is linked with your bank account needs to be registered, and it has to be in your mobile. So you select the SIM 1 or SIM 2, whichever SIM you are using and is registered with the bank account. Let's say this is the one I'm using, and I'm continuing with that. So once your mobile number has been verified, it adds the account, and again for that you can set up your UPI pin. So that's about the linked bank accounts. Let's come back again here. So here we have a send button and request button and QR code, which were implemented by Naman in the version 1.0. So send button directs you to the transfer fragment. Here you can see there are three fragments: home, transfer, and profile. On the transfer fragment, there are two options to send the money to another user. You can select VPA, which is the which is a virtual payment address. You can see here. For this account, the VPA is naman.dwivedi@mifos, and the mobile number is this. You can send it using using VPA or mobile number. So let's say you want to send some $200 to another account. So I'll add the I'll enter the VP of different accounts. So there exists one account with this VPS. and I'll proceed. So it says sending money to the Mandiri and it confirm an amount. It also shows what is the name of that account which is linked with this VPA, and you can confirm and transaction successful. So you can see the transaction history. It will get updated by the transaction here. See, uh, on the 16th of August, 200 INR was deducted from the account. That's it. So yes, so a user can also scan the code, and for that we need to record from the camera, and we need permission for that. So user needs to allow for that. So let's say it's not since I am on an emulator, so I think it's not necessary to show that it was implemented by manually. On this fragment, I worked on this feature. User can send money from mobile or VPA. There are two options. From mobile also, user can choose from his contacts. Here it will show a list of contacts. Since I am on an emulator, it won't show any contacts. There are no contacts available right now. So yeah, that's about the transfer fragment. After that, we come to profile fragment. This was implemented in version 1.0, but I have extended it to user can edit profile on his profile on by tapping on this button. Let's say tap on this. Let's say user wants to change the password. User can change the password by entering current password and new password and confirming the new password. User can also change the passcode. Now, for that, since the Mifos password library is different from, uh, I have imported it as a external library. So for that, currently the feature to change the password is not available on that. So I've just implemented the UI. So developer working on the Mifos password needs to add this feature. So after that, user can also change their email. So let me show you. Let's say I wanna change this email to 123. I save the detail and see email successfully updated. You can see the email now. This has been also reflected on the server side, and user can also change the mobile number similarly. Also, a user can also change the photo by choosing any photo, and his photo will get updated. After that, there is also the setting option where user can log out of the app and disable account temporarily. So this is about that. Yes, so it's done. So let me just log out. Now after logging out, there is one feature needs to be shown right now. So we can also sign up as a merchant or consumer. So there is this option, ease my sign up using Google account. So what I do is, let's say users select this option and sign up as merchant. So it will ask for the current account available on the device since I've not logged in with any device. So what will happen is it will just ask for any of the account user has signed in already with to continue with, and it will extract the first name, last name, and other details like email address and mobile number if available. So here user can choose the country here, select a country, let's say select India, and enter the mobile number. Sending OTP to the mobile number. It says mobile number already exists. So it also checks that the user registering for the account is not registering again with the same details. So I'll have to change the details. So yes, so the account does not exist in the system currently, and user can proceed with the OTP. OTP will be sent to the user, and user just have to enter the OTP here. Continue with that. Just a minute.
And were those the gist of the features you had to show, Ankur? Because that's a great amount of work that you were able to accomplish this summer. And I
Yes, yes.
know you had to do that without having 100% clarity on some of the use cases. And thank you to Naman
No,
and Puneet for
and
mentorship. Oh yeah, keep going. Okay.
it's not done yet. Actually, it somehow got interrupted by something. So I'm continuing with the registration here. So user enters the OTP and verifies the. So now user is directed towards the entering the details. So I enter the details. Here again, it checks for if the um, username is unique or not, if it exists in the database or not. So here I have to select the state in which I am living. So I have selected all, I have entered all the details, and I'll proceed with the all fields are made entry. All selected all fields. Just a minute. Sorry about that. Sorry if I'm taking too much time.
Oh no, I think was this the last use cases you were showcasing, Ankur?
Yes, yes. Yeah,
Okay,
so
no.
this was the last use case which I was showcasing, and apart from that, here is the list of all the use cases and I have done. This is the first one which I did, Mifos passcode library, which I showed you, and then complete KYC and save credit card. These are some minor fixes I did, and two-factor authentication backend is done. UI is not done because server needs to be started with this argument. And transaction I showed you an invoice use cases and list all merchants, send money to phone contact, and some other tasks I did on in UPI related tasks, and that's all. So yes, so this is it. This is what I have done.
Okay, no, thank you, Unger, for all the work this summer and also for thoroughly documenting everything you worked on. And so both Naman and Puneet were helping as mentors, and also Sundri was helping on some of the requirements and product management side. So thank you, everybody who were involved. And so, this is all built on the mobile wallet framework, and then there is the Mifos Pay app on top of the framework, which is focused and geared around India-specific use cases, but the framework is generic enough that you can build around specific mobile wallet use cases for the country you're working with and the payment APIs that are available there. But we focused on this as a demonstrable app and showcase of the framework. So great work. And
Thank you.
then we have about 20 minutes left on our schedule, so we'll try and get through as many showcases as we can today. And so Lalit, I'm not sure, did you have screens you needed to share, and you're going to face the same issues as Ankur did, correct?
Let me try sharing it.
Yeah, so if you want to do like Ankur did, I'll send you the link to the Hangout and we can share screens on the Hangout and then use
Okay.
GoToTraining for audio. But I'll do that as, let me see if Cabral can share his screen briefly to do his showcase for just one moment.
But I got my desktop version also working. Great.
Oh, you got working? Okay, let me make you presenter then. Okay, good. Thank you.
Are you able to see my screen now?
Yeah, your screen's visible. Go right ahead, Lalit. So thank you.
Okay. So my project or the idea was in terms of leveraging machine learning for doing early warning for loans. So we started in terms of understanding what is the literature available both in the industry and the academic circles on the loan, good or bad loan identification using the machine learning methods. During that process, we realized that we also wanted to implement a scorecard, and we want to take the rule-based approach and then extend it to the machine learning. So the project went back and forth, and what I have is this documentation here. It's on the gist. The link will be shared shortly, or if not shared. So in part of the project, after looking at what is the research, what is the literature available, I went about creating some mockups. Let me go show the mockups. So this is a mockup which is in terms of if someone wants to say that I would like to do a machine learning based or a scorecard based, which is more on the rules based, trying to identify what are the features and how do I go about giving some values to it or rating to it. So this is a place where I go add new features. So these features are named it as characteristic, but yeah, we could rename it as dimensions if we are talking more in the machine learning, or if we are talking more in terms of generic, it's more of features. So they could be of binary, nominal, interval, whatever we typically see in a Likert kind of a scale. They could have numeric, character, date, or alphanumeric. And it could be applicable. So this is another categorization where I try to do in terms of do these features belong to an individual? Do these features belong to an organization if the loan is for an organization? Or are there some features that are specific for a country which could impact a loan performing or not performing? And also some of the features that are specific to a loan. Now, once these features are added, some of these features could be directly coming from a database. And when I say database, it could be coming directly from the Mifos database. So we could use the reporting database and create our own query. Or if you think that probably there are features that we may not need to extract from, let's say that I want to get what has been the some interactions that a person has been doing on Twitter or on a Facebook if it exposes its API. So it also has a feature in terms of extracting information, or we could have features in terms of extracting information from internet or any other publicly available APIs. So if you are trying to get data of credit score, which could be in the form of a JSON or an XML, we could select those options and give what the schema is and what are the values that we are looking at, and accordingly set the criteria. So I had features in the previous screen. Now in these features, I'm trying to add information which would determine whether what should be the score given to a criteria or a characteristic. Now, if we want to take the scorecard based approach, which is more in terms of the way the Sybil or any of the FICO or any of them do in terms of more of a rules. I know FICO has been doing quite a bit in terms of artificial intelligence or machine learning, but if probably the approach is scorecard, we would like to go and say, yeah, what would determine a green, what would determine an amber, or what would determine a red. So when I say green, the feature, if it is showing as green, it would mean typically, yeah, probably there is nothing to worry. If it means amber, which would mean that some intervention is required, some reference is required, and red would mean, yeah, probably don't really delve into it. So once these setup is done, a loan would be pulled from the database, or a potential loan would be pulled from the database. And for each of those characteristics, it would go and mark it whether it is a green or an amber or a red. So this basically would identify at the end whether a loan can be given or probably needs to be delved further or probably need not be given. This could also be used for credit scoring. This approach could also be used in terms of there is already an existing loan and you want to see whether is there an early warning or is there a potential NPA that could happen with this loan. So on the machine learning, we looked at what are the approaches that are available, and I tested with some of the public data sets that are available from the Lending Club and the German credit score. So the neural networks, Bayesian network, and decision tree are ones which are giving better accuracy. Amongst them, neural network, while it is giving higher accuracy, it is taking longer time to process with the iterations that it has to work on, the optimization it has to do. Is there a question?
Oh no, I think it's
Okay.
just somebody accidentally. Yeah, no worries.
Okay. That's in terms of the mockups. Now, in the characteristics, you would have seen just one or two in terms of age or probably a loan type. But here, what this exercise we did was we actually looked at the literature available both from the industry and the academics, had interactions with the cooperative societies in India, the central bank, and tried to put what are the features that could help in terms of identifying a potential bad loan, or probably could be used for in terms of credit scoring for any future loans. So I think we have about close to 40, more than 40 features, and each of them have a description. Some of these, as I was stating, can be coming directly from the database, and some of them need to be coming from the internet if you want to really use the social media channels, or probably any of the credit scoring agencies to extract the information. Just going back. That's from the UI perspective. There is also a database schema that I have. So this could be a completely new group that we need to add on the Mifos database. No related data, fields or scorecard or any of the analysis. So I think we have about 5-6 tables kind of normalized to a large extent. And then yeah, this is where I have some of the code that has been developed. And I think we did quite a bit documentation because of the clarity that we are trying to draw in terms of what we want as, whether it we want as a rules or a machine learning or a combination. So all this documentation is available on the gist. And just going back, yeah, that's pretty much what I have. So what I'm hoping to do after this is continue to work, because it's quite interesting, and also the clarity needs to emerge as we make progress. So I hope that I will be, not I hope, but I will continue to work on this beyond GSOC as well, trying to get a plugin kind of a stuff for implementing scorecard, whether statistical, whether rule or machine learning based, for scoring new loans, or scoring a potential bad or a good loan for the existing ones.
Okay, thank you, Lalit. And no, looking forward to having you continue your work on here, as I know, we had a little slow start, especially, getting a mentor on board to be guiding you, but hopefully we can get more in the community that are working in this space participating too. Oh, and yes, was there a question, I think? Okay. No, so I think we're gonna just try and get through one more showcase. We might move Gabriel's showcase to the 23rd or 30th. So Abe and Anwesh, I do want to try and get you guys in today while we've got everybody on. So Abe, let me try and make you presenter again, and we'll see if we have better luck.
Okay.
And if we aren't able to have luck to go through training, we might do like I did with Ankur, and I can just share a screen through Hangout and do audio through GoToTraining. So. Oh, no, it looks like your
Is it
screen's
visible?
visible.
It's visible.
Yeah, it's visible. Okay, so Abe, I'll let you, go ahead, and then I'll let, Anwesh, or if you both want, I'll make sure you both can be unmuted right now. And then I'm not sure, how you both jointly wanted to showcase what you had built on here, but I'll let you go first, Abe, focusing on the screens that you had implemented, and then Anwesh, I'll let you continue on with the portions of the rewrites that you focused on. So, okay, thank you. So,
Yeah, as proceed with the demo directly. Uh, we have redesigned the login screen based on the Angular and Angular 6 and Angular material. This time to support a new feature that will be a web app configuration for all the organizations. So currently I have put the default ones here because we didn't have the APIs available. So it will be functional once all the APIs are ready. This is the cover image, and the description and the name of the organization will be configurable, and the logo of the organization will also be configurable. Here we'll be showing the contact details, including the email, the mobile number, uh, whichever the organization provides in this app configuration settings. For the login, we have implemented all the basic authentication, two-factor authentication, and the OAuth 2 based authentication. For enabling the OAuth based authentication, a minor configuration change needs to be made in the environment file here, which needs to be enabled here as true. This is for the development purpose, and for the production purpose it can be edited over here. Also, we can edit the URL for providing a local server. uh, Now currently I'll show the basic authentication. We also have a remember we feature if we want to possess these credentials through sessions, uh, and do not log in direct again once we close the window and try to open it again. We can check this. Here we can view the password that we are writing. I have also proposed a new feature, forgot password, which we can implement if the community feels right. Now, this is the application shell that we have redesigned, and we have provided a side nav. In this, we have provided 3 states. It can be closed completely, it can be opened, or it can be collapsed as it's in the current community app. We have provided the easily accessible icons for settings and logging out. We have provided a place where we will show the frequently accessed icons, frequently accessed pages. And here we'll have the some more pages which can be accessed directly as we have in the community app. My primary focus was the accounting section, as we didn't have the APIs available for the self-service, but I have designed the user interface for all the cases. So this will be the place where all the clients which can be made into self-service user, or which are the self-service users, will be visible. We'll have a filtering option which we can use to filter the clients. We'll have a sorting option in the tables. We can do bulk activation or deactivation by selecting all the users. We can create a new user from the existing client or a new user. We can also edit a current user. We can change the password. We can activate or deactivate from here as well. Currently, all the data is mock data because the APIs were not available. Also, we'll be providing a new feature of app configuration for the self-service apps. I think it's stuck once. Yeah. In this, we'll be, like I said, for the login, we'll have for the entire app, we'll be able to configure the name of the organization, the description or the summary that we want to provide, the default language, the date format to be used. The fav icon that you see here can be configured, the cover image, the logo with the organization name, and the theme for the mobile banking app, the default font, and the same for the online banking app. And the contact information, the website, email, and contact number will also be configurable. We'll also have this search feature, which we can use to easily search, and the language that we can change. Currently, these are not functional as we were unable to decide on the framework and the discussion is ongoing. You can also configure the theme for the web app. This is the Mifos X logos based theme. And these are the Angular material based themes. So the user will be able to configure the themes for them as well. Further, I worked on the accounting sections and redesigned the. Is there some disturbance? Hello?
Oh, go ahead, Abe. I was
Yeah.
able to mute
So,
where it was coming from.
okay. We have redesigned all the sections for the accounting. This is the frequent posting section. Now all fields are validated. Like if you don't fill it, appropriate message will be shown. Just fill the required fields, and here we can view the created transaction. Further, we can view the created journal entry. We can revert the transaction if required. We can redirect to the new transaction. All the same features for the table for sorting are provided here as well. We can create general entries in a similar way. We can provide multiple GL entries if required. This is the search general entries section. Here we can filter the general entries on the basis of the office name, GL account, the manual or system-based entries. We can filter on the basis of dates and the transaction ID. I'll just show. Now it's, if I mention, okay, there's no entry for HOAJ. Let me see. And similarly for the transaction ID, we can basically sort on the basis of the given criteria and search for the search for that general entry that we want to view. GL mapping section. Here we can define the new mappings. As already all the mappings have been defined, I can't do it right now. We can see the mappings, we can delete it. Then I'll try to create one. Now we can edit it as well. Um, this is the chart of account section. Here we can view all the accounts on the basis of offices. This is the list view and this is the tree view. All the
Oh, and
information
then
is displayed here. Yeah.
oh yeah, and you might need to slow down a little bit on the screen, Abe, because it's taking a little lag time for the screens to catch up to your audio. So
Okay, I actually thought there's less time. So okay, this is the tree view for the GL accounts. Here we can view all the information. This is the list view. Here we have the similar implementation like we have everywhere for the filter and the sorting. We can view the account. Now, if the account usage has been selected as header, we can create a subledger account for the same. And the parent will be mentioned here directly. This is already present. So I forgot to mention about the alerts. We have integrated the snack bar to show the validation alerts or the notifications. We can disable this or enable this, and we can delete it as well. Now further is the closing entries section. Here there are no entries, but so I can't show the filtering, but we also have the filtering option on the basis of the office name and the sorting option. We can create a closure. View it. For a closure, we can only edit the comments and not the office or the closing date. We can delete a created closure, and the rest of the features are similar to the other sections. This is the accounting rules section. Here also we can view all the accounting rules. We can sort them on the basis of the columns. We can filter out them. We can add a new rule. By providing a list of debit tags or the credit tags or a single account. We can check this option if multiple entries are allowed. And now we can view the rule as well. Similarly, we can delete and edit the rule. It's edited now. We can run the periodic accruals. And we can view all the provisioning entries over here. We can create a new provisioning entry. A provisioning entry for this day has already been created, so it won't create it again. So we have that message. We can filter the provisioning entries. We can view a single provisioning entry. Here also we have the sorting option on the basis of office name, loan product, and provision category. We can recreate a provisioning if the general entries haven't been created yet. And if the general entries are created, we can view the general entries. We can also filter the general entries. Like this. Last is the migrate opening balances section. This takes some time to load right now because the data for accounts is too much, so the form takes some time to load. I have tried to find a solution for this by using infinite scrolling, but it hasn't been implemented here right now. So we'll try to do this by some future time. And that's it from my side. It's just taking some time to load. Yeah.
Thanks,
Now we can.
Abhay, for. Oh yeah, go on, Abhay. So, did you get through the use cases you were highlighting? So.
Yeah, this was the last use case. Now we can mention all the details. It will take some time, so I won't fill this form. I have thought that we can implement infinite scrolling here, so it will reduce the loading time as well as it will be easier for the user. And thank you to all my mentors, Gaurav, Pranjal, Maulik for the support, and Ed for continuously helping us every week. And if there are any questions by anyone, you can reach out to me. Uh, just a second.
Okay, thank you, Abhay. And so we are getting to the end of our time today. So Anwesh, if it works for you, like we might, have you do showcase of your work on one of the future demo days. Will that be okay with you?
Yeah, it's okay for me.
Okay, yeah. So Abe originally was just going to be focused on the self-service user admin portal, but we didn't have all the APIs nor full clarity of the use cases there. So he shifted focus and began working on the project that Anwesh kicked off. And so Anwesh himself was actually only going to be embarking on just refining the current web app, but Gaurav proposed, working on rewriting the complete web app into the latest version of Angular, so really significantly extending the scope of the project. So Anwesh, began with that, and Abhay joined him, and so it's great that you got a glimpse of the new web app. And so, as I said earlier, any Angular developers that want to continue the work they've started on GitHub, we have pretty much, I think, every screen that needs to be re-implemented documented as a ticket that you could pick up. So I think you can see that this new UI is clean, modern, it's a lot more configurable. So if you'd like to help it, get to the place where it can replace the current community app, jump on board and begin contributing. But I want to thank everybody who showcased today. So Ankur, Saksham, Lalit, and Abhay. And then for Cabral and Anwesh, we're going to move you to a later showcase. And then I know everybody probably needs to jump off the call, but I'll hold like 2 minutes or so if there are any burning questions that people have. And if not, like we can take, questions and feedback on the mailing list. But I'll open the floor to some quick questions in case anybody has them. So. Yeah, and just some of the questions that came through. So I'll share the recording hopefully by later today or tomorrow. I might need to edit out a few of the areas where we were just trying to get demos set up. So okay, so I'm gonna wrap up the call today. Thank you, everyone. We're gonna have another showcase in a week, and then probably another in a week's time. You'll continue to see the great work that students have done. And then also, if you want to see these features and all the work get shipped and be made available, we still need help from the community in continuing to review and help merge, pull requests that are coming through on the back end on the Apache side, as well as, folks on the front end and mobile sides to do review of the work that they've